Welcome to PYSci, and let us talk now about a basic time management principle known as time management matrix and its application within academic environment. Traditionally, scientists are considered to be the masters of their time, without defined working hours and freedom to work when and as they like. This freedom is believed to free scientific minds from any constraints and boost creativity and innovation. However, more often than not, this freedom leads to the creation of overburdened and inefficient working force. Well, it's not scientists to blame. If your work is at the edge of knowledge, how do you estimate the time needed to explore new frontiers? Even a simple wind-down procedure can take weeks, if not months, to be established in your lab. In addition, doing science is not a straightforward thing, with many new paths being discovered and ideas being born along the way. Moreover, scientists work in a highly unstructured environment, with not many, if any, rules of engagement. Finally, academic environment is such that you are in a constant chase for more, either published manuscripts, grants, people in your team, citations, recognition, and so on. Not to mention that with the advancements on the career ladders, the new responsibilities appear in a logarithmic fashion. Having these things in mind, it comes to no wonder that scientists easily lose the track of time and become overburdened and inefficient. What I will argue here is that the time management in academia, if you're a PhD student or a postdoc, is not about time, but about knowing yourself and your priorities. Or in other words, if you are doing research in academia, time management is not about optimizing your weekly schedule so you can finish as much task as you can in a day, but about defining your top priorities and making sure that you plan sufficient time to work on those priorities. And all that because you don't want to finish as those poor dinosaurs. So, the first thing you need to learn is how to start prioritizing your tasks and goals. And you can do that by making a time management matrix, in which you can enter and differentiate between urgent and non-urgent things to do, and between important and not so important tasks to finish or goals to achieve. So let me shortly explain the advantages and the power of using this matrix. You see, the trick is that while we, humans, can easily distinguish not important and not urgent things from important and urgent, it is not so easy to distinguish important and not important things which are urgent, just because of their urgency. Unfortunately, we acquire this urgent task also when collaborate with other academics who usually also suck in time management, so they bring to our lives more urgent stuff with unsorted importance. And as an outcome, we dedicate most of our time and energy in finishing and sorting out those urgent matters. However, experience shows that by doing that, we actually neglect important and non-urgent goals and tasks, and those are actually crucial for our careful careers and lives in general. And we start working on these only once they become urgent as well, and the stress is building, right? So now is your turn to get to know yourself, your priorities, your strengths and weaknesses, and your long and short-term goals. With this information and knowledge, and the help of time management and priority matrix, you can define your yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily goals and tasks. Now, once you have priorities defined and sorted out in the matrix, every time management book will tell you that all you need to do is to devote a bulk of time to your important and not urgent goals. So plan ahead. Also, you need to learn how to delegate or say no to non-important tasks. And in that way, you will be able to buy enough time to carefully finish your urgent matters as well. Follow then a basic principle. By having yearly goals in mind to keep focus, make a rough monthly plan. Based on that, plan your weeks more detailed, but importantly stay flexible and take it one day at a time. Time management is a continuous learning process. You need to devote, for example, 30 minutes every week to plan a week ahead of you. Then you need to execute your weekly plan, and at the end of that week, take another 30 minutes to analyze what went as planned and what not. Using this simple learning cycle, you will with time improve your time management skills and become a pro. I recommend doing this analysis plannings on Fridays, so you can start your Monday with clear plan and priorities and not waste half of the day on finishing up unimportant tasks that accumulated over the weekend, or listening to excited weekend stories before you start thinking what should do first. For those that never did it, I will now shortly demonstrate how one can start with time management practice and plan a week. First of all, some of you may immediately notice that I have chosen a sheet with 5 working days per week, an issue that I would be crucified to mention to any professor. But I assure you that with proper time management skills, this will provide you more than enough time to successfully finish your PhDs or your postdocs. Okay, after writing in all obligatory and fixed meetings, lectures, or similar, including a slot for your time management analysis, I recommend starting with scheduling one important non-urgent task per day. A green guy, one of these per day, one slot. This can be a task of performing an experiment, or writing a manuscript, or making a poster, or something like that. The rest of your schedule just leave empty and use it as a buffer in case a task took longer than expected, for example. In this time, this empty time, you can write your lab journal, read papers, work on less important things, and so on. But most importantly, that time will be perfectly situated once important urgent things appear from nowhere. Now you have time for them as well. And by that, you will not need to sacrifice your crucially important green time for those non-urgent but important things. So please, single task and buffer. And I promise that with practice, you will catch the damn carrot. Bon appetit.